Hi everyone. This is just a short video I recorded at home. This is not on YouTube or anything. It's just me at home. Uh, this is in support of what I wrote last night on Facebook. I was really disturbed. I couldn't get to sleep last night because of what happened on Murray Island yesterday. And I just want to bring everything into all families, especially Torres Straits and NPA region, of our rights. So I'd like to share some information with you, and because we're regarded, if you research our history, we're regarded as backward people, uncivilized, but yet the Aboriginal protector O'Leary, in his time, warned the Queensland government not to give us too much space, otherwise we'll just grab it and run. And I'd just like to say, before I go into the documents I've got in front of me, I'd like to say thank you to all the friends that have sent me information from all over, Australians that are concerned of exactly where we're going as a nation, from Indigenous brothers and sisters as well as fellow Australians. So I thank you all for the information that you've sent me, and I've worked it out in a way where I'm going to do my best to bring justice to us all in my little way that I can, and also helping each other on the way. So I want to, especially about our land, which is so important to us. As we all know, we're just custodians looking after it for the next generation to come along. So our inheritance is through descent, and we need to know exactly where we stand with our family and how we represent our people. Last night I stated that I had two documents, my grandmother's and my grandfather's documents, and I want to show you. And this is in regards to freehold title, the land that you own. Now, these are the same sort of documents that Uncle Koiki used when he went to court, in High Court. So it's exactly the same documents from exactly the same records, which is Native Court. Now, the High Court in 1992 recognized these documents. But I want to show you my grandmother's. I posted it on Facebook before, and this is dated 1934. Sorry, that's the wrong one. 1934. And that's passing on the titles to my dad. And it was witnessed by Councillor Morale on the 27th of the 5th, 1934, and Chief Councillor Jacob Gabby. So this is a document that Uncle Koiki used in court when he went to court, and similar with the other elders as well. This is the one of interest. I haven't posted this on Facebook, but this is my grandfather's document. And underneath there, I've highlighted or underlined freehold. If you can see that, it's got freehold. So if this document shows that it's freehold title, that means Murray Island was all freehold. And I believe, because when I sat down and I thought about it, I said, well, that's all of Torres Straits, all of NPA, all of Australia, really, because this document is registered. These sort of documents are recognised in High Court. It's already been proven with Uncle Koiki. So there's things that we need to know what freehold means. especially for our people, First Nations people around Australia, and wider Australians as well, in society in general. Now, as I said, I've worked things out in regards to how governments work. We think we sort of have everything, and thank you for all the information that's come in. Now, I've got a document here that I sent to Torres Strait Island Council. Now, I've actually hit them for compensations for $80 billion, because since invasion, we've been paying tax on land tax on freehold title. Now, while all people didn't understand that, and I didn't really understand it until I looked at things and I put everything together. So I was like, oh, okay. And when I found Granddad's document, it just clicked. And what I've done is, now as you see up front here, there's a receipt there. I express post this to the council, Torres Strait Council. And what I've done is, it was delivered on the 28th of the 10th, 19 at 9:35 a.m. What I've done is, I've sent a letter of explanation as well. And this is a demand bill of exchange. Now, the government won't tell us this is how it works. But as I said, I've worked it out. And this is what I've done. This is my own. I've just done it on A4. It's a demand bill of exchange for $80 billion. But I want you to take notice of the bottom here. I've had that signed by a JP, so this becomes a legal document. And they've got 14 days to respond to this demand. Now, if you Google promissory notes and bills of exchange in the internet, it explains a lot, but it doesn't really actually show you how to do one of these documents. But if you go to the Bills of Exchange Act 1909 and go right to the bottom, the very last page, there's an example you can use, and that's what I did. I used my own words, and I'll read what the actual invoice states. It's got $80 billion in numerals, and it's just simple. Know all men that I, William Barrow, a sovereign living being in the state of Queensland of the Commonwealth of Australia, hereby demand payment of invoice number WB 0002 to the value of $80 billion, and 80, I've got it in written and numerical form by Torres Strait Regional Council. And I've just printed my name and terms of condition. This notice is in compliance under Section 8(1) of the Bills of Exchange Act 1909. The amount specified above must be paid in full within 14 working days, tax-free, non-negotiable. Failure to pay within the period mentioned above will result in additional 5% increase in each day thereafter, and will be subject to legal proceedings without further notification. This document will be used as evidence in legal litigation. So that's all it is. And I just said to them at the bottom to email me for instructions of payment. So that's what it is. And the governments won't tell you that these actually work. The banks won't tell you that, but these actually work. And if you go on YouTube, you'll see there's a lot. It's promissory notes, but this is different. This is the demand, and you've got if you know that your rights have been breached, and you've got the evidence to prove it, this is what you need to write up. Now, as I said, this is about these two documents from my grandparents. Okay. And in regards to freehold, I didn't mention allodial title, but in another page, and as you see again, I've got the JP to sign this as well. This was at Townsville Magistrate Court. And the same thing, I've actually given them a description of what they've actually breached. So I'll read it to you so you just get an idea of where your rights are. Now, you can Google this up. Allodial title, law and legal definition. Allodial title is a real property ownership system where the real property is owned free and clear of any superior landlord. In this case, the owner will have an absolute title over his or her property. Property owned under allodial title is referred as allodial land. Allodial lands are the absolute property of their owner and are not subject to any service or acknowledgements to a superior. In allodial lands, there will not be any control by a superior landlord. So the government has confiscated our land, built their social housing on it, but this here is international law, what I've just read. Allodial land held absolutely in one's own right and not of any land, any lord or superior. Land not subject to any feudal duties or burdens. An estate held by absolute ownership without recognizing any superior to whom any duty is due on account thereof. And there's an example there as well. An absolute title, the definition is property title that is free from any encumbrances, liens and dispute. An absolute title ensures clear ownership rights to the property. Freehold equals perfect title. So that's what these are. These are perfect titles. They're freehold land. The government can't take it away from you. And we need to realize that. We need to realize that and stand up. Everybody, all Australians need to get together and stand up and say, look, we've woken up and we want our land back. That's all we have to do. And these documents here, like as I said, like my grandfather's document, if you're going to court and you need to show freehold title, message me and I'll email it to you. Because this is powerful. It states there, freehold. And they can't dispute that. And I'll just explain a couple more things to you. Fee simple. Fee simple means absolute. A fee simple absolute is an estate limited absolutely to a man and his heirs and assigns forever without limitation or condition. Okay? Now these are taken from Black's Law Dictionary. Now get your hands on Black's Law Dictionary because you need to write and understand how the government write to you. They use Black's Law Dictionary or Webster's English Dictionary, which is a huge book. In American law, an absolute or fee simple estate is one which the owner is entitled to the entire property. There it is. And this is from Black's Law Dictionary. An absolute fee simple is one which the owner is entitled to the entire property with unconditional power or disposition during his life and descending to his heirs and legal representatives upon his death. It's pretty clear. They can't take it away from you. That's fee simple. And all of Australia is fee simple. The estate which a man has where lands are given to him and to his heirs absolutely without any end or limit put to his estate. It's all there. Google it. Google fee simple, and you'll find all this. And there's more examples I've got on there, but the same thing. I've got it signed by the JP. So this is a legal document, and the Council of Torres Straits needs to address this within 14 days. Otherwise, that's a powerful document in court. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention. Now remember, this is not on YouTube. I don't have an account for YouTube, so this is just something I've created at home. This is another document. I encourage every Australian to have this at home. This is where the Commonwealth of Australia is registered on the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. When you go into Edgar search, type in capital letters, the Commonwealth of Australia, it'll come up under, and have a look on the side, on the left hand side, you'll come across documents. Have a look for document form 18KA. That's where you'll find. This is it. This is the Treasury report. So the whole finances of Australia is exposed internationally. Everybody and anybody can see it. Any country can see it. They know the value of Australia. And this one's Queensland. Okay. Get your hands on both of them. Whichever state you're in, get your hands on that, the Commonwealth one and the state that you reside in. So when you confront or you write to the government, send these in with it. Everything that you write, you keep reminding them that you know. And that's the only way. They push things on us, but what we're going to do is turn and play their game. So that's what we need to do. Get these documents in your home. Keep them in your home. Keep a hard copy. Anything that happens, you serve this on them. So, yeah, I just thought I'd let everybody know, especially my families in Torres Straits and NPA. This is vitally important because yesterday, when my elder rang me last night, we were on the phone for about an hour and a half, and he was really concerned. So I thought I'd make this small video. I'd like to say thanks to everyone that shared my video on the 3rd of August. It's like this, last night even, it was like 42,000 views and shares, so thanks very much for that. But remember, freehold title, fee simple title, allodial title, they can't take it away. No matter what they do, we've got them with this. Thanks, guys.